A very good afternoon. My name is Merlisza Anak Mengiring from DKA2C. My registration number is 05 DKA20F2133. My group member is Eral, Rayner, Anak, Ratan, Desharlyn, Mynda, Anak, Jamba, Muhammad Hafiz bin Mustapha, and Evangalis Pharmella, Anak Kennedy. We are from Jabatan Kejuruteraan Awam. Today we are going to present about laboratory and drain threshold shear test. Objective: to determine the shear strength parameter of soil, which are angle of internal friction and cohesion of soil with shape changes of cohesive soil. Applicable standard: D2850038 standard test method for unconsolidated undrained threshold compression test on cohesive soils.
The purpose of measurement. The undrained threshold shear test is one of the indirectly shear tests that can carried out by imposing a cell pressure to the cylindrical shaped soil example and then increasing the axial load that can resulting the shear failure that happen to the soil sample. When the test is conducted, maintain the undrained conditions without allowing any pore water dissipation. At least 3 samples are needed. Make sure all samples will be imposed with different cell pressure and imposed by axial pressure until the entire sample is filled. From the value of axial pressure at failure and cell pressure for every sample, more circle friction can be determined. So our discussion is how to state and sketch type of failure for the soil sample. Number 2, to plot both graph of stress versus strain on the same graph paper. Number 3, plotting the more circle for each of 3 soil samples on the same graph paper and determine the shear strength of soil. And finally, what is the advantage of this test compared to other tests in finding the soil strength?
Good evening. My name is Eral and Anak Ratan. Matrix number 05 DKA 20F2136. Number 1, state and sketch type of failure for the soil sample. And this is our sketch. And for the number 2, plot both graph and stress versus strain on the same graph paper. This is our group graph.
I'm Desharlyn, Mynda, Anak, Jamba, registration number 05 DKA20F2025, and I'm going to present slide 8 and 9. Plot the MOHR circle for each of 3 soil samples on the same paper graph and determine the shear strength of soil. Number 4. What is the advantage of this test compared to other tested in finding the soil strength? First, this test is unconsolidated undrained triaxial test. As the name tells, the soil sample is subjected to cell pressure with no provision of drainage. Here the cell pressure maintained to a constant value as the applied deviator stress is increased till sample fails. This is called a quick test. Second, this test has complete control over the drainage conditions. Thus, tests can be easily conducted for all 3 types of drainage conditions. Number 3, stress distribution is uniform on failure plane. Pore pressure and volumetric changes are possible to be measured directly. The state of stress at all intermediate stages up to failure is known. Last but not least, it is possible to draw MOHR circle at any shear stage.
A square footing receives the loading from main structure 300 kN. The depth of the footing is 1.5 meter from site investigation The characteristic of the soil is cohesiveness. C. Refer lab sheet data, friction of soil. O. Refer lab sheet data and unit weight. Y equal to 18 kilonewton per meter power 3. Determine size of the footing if the factor of safety is 2.5. Determine size of footing. C equal to 60 kilonewton per meter square. Friction of the soil. Friction of soil is 23 degree. Unit weight 18 kilonewton per meter power 3. From table, bearing capacity factor is 23 degree, and C equal to 1.75 and Q equal to 10.23 and N equal to equal to 6. Ultimate bearing capacity of footing is 1972.71 plus 43.2 B. Net ultimate bearing is 1945.71 plus 43.2 B. Design for the design load, we know QF equal to 1945.71 plus 43.2 B. Therefore B is 0.6 meter. That's all for me. Thank you.
In conclusion, we cannot feel the experience of conducting laboratory undrained traxel shell tests due to the growing case of COVID-19. Therefore, we only practice virtually by listening and understanding the laboratory process from our lecturer Sir Muhammad Fauzi bin Mokhtar and through media related to this laboratory. Although that we still be able to do the conclusion by using the raw data that given by our lecturer. We managed to plot graph stress with strain and graph Morse circle based on the data we had calculated. After finding the maximum point from each sample in graph stress with strain, we managed to do the graph Morse circle and find the value of cohesiveness 60 kN and friction of the soil 23 degree. For the size of footing we got 0.6 meter for the value of B. With this opportunity, I would like to thank our lecturer Sir Muhammad Fauzi bin Mokhtar for giving us opportunity to learn about this laboratory. I also want to thank my group members that has shared many ideas on how to do this group report. I hope that next time we can conduct the laboratory together. Thank you.